The Wells Fargo scandal. Fallout continues over the scandal the company's in, over the behavior it encouraged branch employees to open accounts without authorization, some 2 million accounts. We learned today, actually, that the federal prosecutors might be investigating this, which would, of course, escalate it to a whole new level. So here's the quote. It's from John Stumpf, CEO of Wells Fargo. "There was no incentive to do bad things. Who we fired, terminated, in no way reflects our culture." Brian, what's your take on that?
It's ridiculous. I mean,
in a word.
John Stumpf has a great story. He grew up on a dairy farm, played bass through college, earned money. I'm a bass player. I sympathize. But I mean, that's just ridiculous. You cannot come out and say we had a few bad apples. They had 5,300 people that they've already fired. This was mass fraud essentially, and you can't say that's not our character. They created a corporate culture that led to this. Their incentive programs incentivize people to commit fraud. It's just, you cannot just wipe it away. And he's going to be hauled before Congress and there might be an investigation. And, he can say that, but it's not, no one believes it.
And it also brings up the issue of just incentive sales goals in general. I mean, we have seen other companies run into trouble with this, or just pressure from above this was actually a factor in Volkswagen trying to reach those emissions goals. But, where's the line drawn? Because, commission-based sales is, you could argue, a form of incentivizing, but this took it well beyond that, obviously. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I think that's really interesting. I think companies often run into trouble when they try to set very narrow incentives goals rather than saying, serve the customer or make the company money. Like, this specifically did not make the company very much money at all. The employees that went rogue collected something like $2.6 million in fines, which is minuscule compared to the $185 million in fees.
Versus the fine.
The fine,
yeah. Right.
The giant fine, and not to mention the reputational damage.
But it's the culture.
It goes right to what he says and why it's wrong, because you give people incentives, but you have to pound people into them. What is your culture and what do you stand for and what's the right way to act? And yes, we want you to cross-sell accounts, but that doesn't mean we just stand back and see what happens and, people are trying to make a few extra bucks and they cross the line.